So, here I am. It's really me, it's Rudi. Thank you, John, for introducing me and showing this picture from the handball, The church is coming, and really the church was coming, and the Danish team taught us a lesson as a German team, very clear. And I hope also that can be a sign something that Denmark will be also for us to teach us about churches. Because we have not a church in our team, but I hope you will teach us in this more. This is why we are here together, and we want to speak about the hope of the church, And this topic is really interesting for me. It is something on my heart because I still believe, and I always believe, that the church has hope. And I asked myself, and I heard this topic, isn't it clear? Why should we discuss about the hope for the church? Isn't it clear that everyone should usually know that the church has hope? And then I thought a little bit more about this, but what does this sentence really say? Does it say something more about our statue of our churches? That our churches may be suffering and have resignating because we are not sure if there is some future for us? Does the sentence say something about the society, what we see in the society, that something changed? Or what does it speak about my own hope? Hope for the church. And so it depends how you see the church, depend how you have your own hope is maybe the answer to this question. So my way today, how I want to speak about this topic, is in one way I would like in the first session, to speak to us as the leaders, to bring us back, that we get closer to the hope again, that we again be refreshed with hope, because then we can share the hope with others. And I like the other also what we have in other Bible verse from Ephesians 3:10-11, there's written, his intent, so Paul is describing there in the whole chapter the gentle mission, that he was one who God gave grace that he become also a believer. And then he describes the power of the church and the beauty of the church. And then it's written, his intent was that now through the church, the manifold wisdom of God should be made known to the rulers and authorities in the heavenly realms, according to his eternal purpose that he accomplished in Christ Jesus our Lord. And I like this passage because it says, through the church, he will have influence in the society. Through his church, God wants to give hope and give his wisdom into the rulers of our politician leaders, He will give wisdom, he will show his wisdom, his love, what his plans is for this world through the church. And this is something that God is promising. This is something that is a reality and that we not want to doubt that this cannot be. That is written there, and he wants to do it through Jesus Christ. So the hope of the church is there. The question is, does we believe in the hope? Does we have the hope? Does we still alive and full of hope for our own things, what we are doing there? And, sometimes we see our churches, and when I'm traveling through Europe especially, I see, yes, we are struggling sometimes as a church. We have not seen so big fruits in the last years anymore, and so maybe that some people get frustrated and saying, so why should we invest in church? Or how can we keep alive the church that we still have influence? I want to share you a small story. There was a boy standing on the beach and on the sea there, and he's picking up the starfish and throw them into the sea again, into the water. And then there came a group of tourists passed by, and they are observing the boy and seeing what he is doing, and then they are asking him, hey, what are you doing there? Is it a game or what is you doing? But then he explained, no. You see, the flood is coming, and the flood brings the the starfish, to the beach, and if they not come the next flood very easy, they will die. So if they have no water, they will die. So I pick them up and throw them back to the water so they can survive. So then the tourists looked around the beach and seeing, look, there are thousands of starfish. What does it make a difference to throw one in the water? And then the boy picked again one starfish up and he said, it makes a difference to this one, and throw it in the water. You see, and that is what I see also with the churches. Sometimes we have the feeling we are so less. How can we solve, or should we even solve, the problem of the whole society, of the whole world, or the whole Denmark or something, you know? But it makes a difference, but for this one in which we are in contact, with whom people we are in touch. It makes a difference for that people who are coming to the church every Sunday or will be around the church, you know. It makes a difference. So hopes means, if we have a hope, it means that we recognize that the value of very small acts in our life, make a change. So that we still believe that the things what we are doing is not in vain for nothing, but it has an influence. But of course, sometimes we can do also the wrong thing, that it will be not helpful, but for this we will also discuss today. But the hope is something what is still in us, it is a belief, it is a conviction in us, you know, that comes. It will make a difference if I'm staying here, if we as a church are here. It makes a difference for this person, it makes a difference for the neighbor, it makes a difference for the city, it makes a difference for Denmark. You know, we are really quick always to ask for efficiency. And so I see it also, you know, when we meet together sometimes as leader, we want to ask, what are the results? Show me your last success, what you have reached out, you know. And we are making big plans and we are waiting for the big moments. We want to see that what we are doing have a big impact. But in church, sometimes it is not like this. Sometimes it's not like everything is efficient in the first moment what we see. But God has another plan sometimes. Sometimes we were looking for special people or waiting for special moments, but God is looking to the heart of the people because He is looking there if they make a difference. So, and that is my question also when we are looking for hope, what is the hope we long for? What is the hope that we usually long for? What is your personal hope for the church? What is your personal hope to invest in yourself, you know, that you want to see, what you want to see really? Imagine God would come to you in your situation, He would come to you today and He would say, you have one wish free. Ask me whatever you want, you have one wish free. What should I do for you? What would you ask? What would be your deepest hope for what you would ask? Would you ask to say, God, please give me a mega church. Give me also this kind of building, what I have here in Aalborg, you know, or in Stay Home, or what I don't know, you know, what kind of places. Give me also a big church, a mega church. Is it this desire in you? Or would you say, please God, provide us with a lot of finances for our programs. We have so many good ideas, but we have no finances. Or would you say, God, please, we need more employees. God, we need new co-workers. Please give me co-workers. Give me great ideas. Give me great programs for our church. Or would you maybe ask to say, God, please, bring this conflict to the end in our church? Or would you ask, please let me see that someone be converted in our church? That someone became a believer. When is the last time that you have seen that someone became a believer in your church? Usually we wish something exactly this, what you don't have right now. You wish something that you don't have right now, that you want more of it. And I like this passage, maybe also from Solomon, who has experience with God, and God asking him this question. In 1 Kings 3:5, we are reading this. At the Gibeon, the Lord appeared to Solomon during the night in a dream, and God said, "Ask for whatever you want me to give you." Wow. That was a real dream. Ask me for whatever you want to give you. And Solomon was, during that time, he was a king. He had everything that he wanted. And he had enough servants to instruct them to carry out of his wishes. If he would have a desire for something, he can send a servant to some place and to say, "Please bring me this. Please organize this for me." So why he should ask God for something more? But I like the answer that he gives. He say, "So give your servant a discerning," or you can say also obedient heart, "to govern your people and to distinguish between right and wrong. For who is able to govern this great people of yours?" He's not asking for wealth. He's not asking for more wisdom and good ideas. He's not asking for a greater kingdom, but he's asking for a serving heart. He's asking, "Please, God, change my heart. Open my heart for the things that you have in the plan. Open my heart that I can receive your wisdom, that I can receive your guidance, how I have to make good decisions, how I have to lead people, how I have to react in the situation, and that I can be really close to you." What he wants is that he said, "I want the same heartbeat like you, God. I not want to be anymore the same guy that I only try to fulfill my wishes, my dreams. I want to have your heartbeat in me. I want to have your hope for this people." This is what he wanted. And I think during our time, usually it is not common to say, "I want to be obedient to someone." We want to be independent. We not want to follow someone. We want to see that everyone be trying to help everyone become your own star, try to fulfill your own dreams. But what he is asking, I want to be obedient to God. What is on God's heart, I want to do. I want to serve him instead of being to be served. I want to follow him rather than that he should follow my dreams. And I wish that we also have this hunger and this desire to stay close with God's heartbeat. That will give us hope for the future. Doesn't matter how the circumstances are. That will open our minds. That will open our view and our perspective for God's perspective. So that we understand how to make good decisions, to understand what is right and what is wrong, what is good and what is the best. That is what he's asking. For an obedient heart, a heart that is close to the heartbeat of God. My question is, again, also to you, and this morning, what would be your vision, your wish? What would be that something you would ask God if he would ask you this question? When we think about hope for the church, it doesn't start with a new structure. It not starts with a new vision. It not starts with new concepts or new strategies. When we speak about the hope for the church, it starts with your heart. It starts with my heart. It not starts if you are coming here today and expecting that I give you new ideas and new concepts how to make the hope for the church. Of course, we will discuss about this also, because I believe it is necessary sometimes also. But the key and the foundation for all of this is your heart. Your heart. And then I thought about this more and more. I was asking God, what is this that we can keep our hope alive? And then I found out some things, or God gave me some things that what I can compare. He said to me, hunger and hope, they have some commons. I never thought about this, but hunger and hope have some commons. Because if you are hungry for, you have something what you not have right now. You won't have something, you want to have food. And if you're hungry, I don't know how it's about you, but then you are looking to find where to get food. You don't care about anything else anymore. You try to find out where to get food. And if not, then you get nervous, or some people get angry, some get sleepy. I don't know, it's different, So, and that is a power for hunger, and hope has a power to motivate people. It has the ability to bring people in motion, either for a better future or to satisfy the basic needs. And the same, hunger and hope, they have a focus on a goal. They have a clear goal. If you're hungry, it's clear, I want to eat. I want food, It's now a little bit too early. It's good that we all had the breakfast right now, But later on you will see what it means to have hunger. But the same is, I hope also that our hope is the same. To hope for more. To hope to see the better things, that God will do something, that we're expecting, hey, there is something more that we're expecting right now, or that we are seeing right now. It is a desire for more, that we are not satisfied with the situation who we have right now. As the leaders, we are challenged always to decide where we put our focus and our attention to. We're living in a time where everyone wants our attention. Everyone wants to say, here, put your focus on this. This is the hope of the future. Here you have invest. And this is more important for you. And everyone wants our energy, because leaders are people who can move something, who can push something forward. And that is why everyone wants something from the leaders. And that can be sometimes discouraged. That can bring frustration to us also, that we don't know how to fulfill all the desires and expectations of people. And especially in the churches, also we as a leader, in this tension that everyone comes to us and has a hope to us as a leader and say, please, can you better organize a budget? That the treasurer comes to you and to say, please, we need more money for something else, we need more co-workers, the youth are coming to you and say, hey, we have to put the focus more on the new generation, and the others are coming, hey, we need a deeper preaching, your sermon have to be deeper, and then the other comes and say, hey, we need more staff for the cleaning, we have not organized well the cleaning system, we need more this, we have to carry out how to organize and to repair the things in the church, and someone has to pay also the bill, someone has to take care also for the homepage and for the social media, social network, and everyone, all those requests come to us as the leaders, and everyone wants our attention, say, this is important. And you as a leader stay there and say, yes, it's true. Oh, yeah, homepage, oh, yeah, yes, oh, yeah, it's very important. Next generation, yes, it's important. To have more financials, yes, it's important. And that sucks your energy. And it sucks your energy. And you think, oh, I have to put more there, put more attention, more. But instead of going and run behind all these things, it is good that we put our focus on the hunger of God. That we say, yes, we believe that all those kind of things are necessary, but our main focus should be that we have a hunger for God. that we use the hunger as a catalyst for more. That we use the hunger to being close with God's heartbeat, to see what He wants to do, what is on the first priority list by God. So that is why we get all the promises also here, some written, all of them, I think also Jeremiah 29:13, you will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. If you are missing hope, if you are confused in your decision, then please seek God. Have hunger for God. Stay close to Him and say, God, I want to be close to your heartbeat. What I have to do right now. Or Philippians 3:10, I want to know Christ. Yes, to know the power of His resurrection and participation in His sufferings, becoming like Him in His death. Paul, usually he had a lot of experience, and I think he was a man full of hope, but he said, I want to know Christ. I not want to know all the new strategies. I want to know all the new concepts about how to reach the Gentiles, I want to know Christ. I want to know the power of His resurrection. Do you as a leader have this desire still in you? To say, I want to know more about Christ? And then Matthew 5:6, blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. We need, I think especially, a new hunger and thirst for God's kingdom among our leaders. If we are, as leaders, are not more hunger for God, if we are not more hungry for more hope by God, through God, so then we cannot give hope to others. Last year, I really experienced that many people became believers. I have never seen in my ministry time so many people that gave their life to Jesus than last year. And it is not that everyone came through my ministry through Jesus, but sometimes I had a long history, long story. But what I learned the last years also was, I want to stay closer with God and not more always closer to the need of the people of Jesus, to the need of the people. I learned to make me free from all the expectations that people have to me. I not want to be anymore that people always say, oh, Rudi, you can do it. And before I always thought, oh, yes, I can do. No, I want to be free of this expectation, and I want to be close and obedient to God's heart. And maybe this gives me the new freedom to speak to people, the new freedom to lead people to Jesus, and to say that they have the same hunger. They will not want to impress other people. They not want anymore go and looking for something and to have a busy life. They want to have a fulfilled life. And it is what we have to see, that our heart is close to Jesus. And I think why Solomon chose this wish was because he had an example. He had a role model who taught him this. And this role model was his father, David. David was the one who was very close to God. David was the one who always put his whole hope into God, and there's only some passages, because if you read the Psalms, you can find a lot about the hope that David expressed to God. He says here, as a deer pants for streams and water, so my soul pants for you, my God. My soul thirsts for God, for the living God. When can I go and meet with God? When can I go and meet with God? Hey, when is the last time that you really had this big desire to say, I'm really tired now, and you say, when can I meet with God? We as a leader, if we want to have hope, if we want to be refreshed by ourselves, we need the encounter and the meeting points always with God. We need to be close with Him, to seek His presence in our life, to listen to His voice, to listen to His advice, and not always of the things what people are wanting from us. David was many times in situations that looks very hopeless. And from the human point of view, you would say, David, there is no hope anymore. But then he wrote so many psalms, where you can read it, that he said, yes, from the human perspective, there is no hope. But I put my hope into God because I'm close to God. And I know that He has something more that I even see right now. And this is why God by Himself said to him that David was a man after God's heart. He said, God testified it concerning him, I have found David, son of Jesse, a man after my own heart. He will do everything I want him to do. What would your church look like and your lives be like if we let God and His will determine our action and our hunger for more? How well it really looks like if we are much more focused to be closer to God's heartbeat than on some programs and then strategies. Finding hope for the church often starts with us and with our heart and our relationship to Jesus. And my desire is also for Denmark that we have a lot of people that God will testify, you are the man from Aalborg, you are the man from Copenhagen, you are the man from somewhere else, from Billum or so, and you are the man after my own heart. Where are the men and women in Denmark that God will say they are people of my own heart because they do everything I want them to do? God is looking today, He is going around our church, He is looking around here today. Who are the people who are willing to do everything what He wants Him to do? Are you a man or a woman of God's heart? When we are close to God's heart, you will be refreshed. You will have living water into you that will bring hope to others without doing anything, because people will see there is something in you and that will bring water to them. And closer to Him will show the riches and the glory of God, because He has more than you even can imagine right now. So to seek Him with all your heart means to find Him. That is what the Bible says. To seek Him means to find Him, Jesus, God by Himself. And to find Him means to unite with Him, to be close with Him, to have His same heartbeat, His perspective. And to be united with Him enables us to live by His power and experience His riches. And it must be very clear that God is not one that many things we hunger for. He is the only one that we need. It's not only that He is coming to fulfill some gaps, what we are missing. He is the whole body, He is the whole thing, that want to be filled with. It's not about that our concern in our church should not be so much about who will get the honor for doing the things or about the numbers, about the buildings, but we need a new concern about, are we doing God's will? Are we close to God's heartbeat? And this quote is from Augustinus Aurelius. This many years ago, he said, what you want to ignite in others must burn within you. What you want to ignite in others must burn within you. Only those who burn themselves can be a light and a fire for others. And what are you really burned for? What is really burning in you? Is a hope really there, or is it only a short excitement for something? the deep hope into God, if it is there, then it will bring hope also to others. And interesting, also in Isaiah 44:20 is written, "Who hurts ashes betrays his heart." Who hoards, who focus on ashes, so he betrays his heart. So it means maybe you had once a fire in you, and you started full of enthusiasm and full of hope in your ministry and for your church and everything, and sometimes even if you have Christmas service, maybe you again have a new hope for your church, But maybe God is moving in the other direction already, because he's maybe moving to another room already. And that means if we're still putting our hope into this concept, into this strategy, and think, wow, that works so well, maybe we are only putting our hope into ashes, and we betray our heart, and we think, oh, there's fire. But it's not warm up anymore, anyone. So we have to learn to be closer with God. And that is what I want to do in the first session, really. That you as a leader again, what is maybe the ashes that you are looking for, or that you are still trying to protect? Where do you need maybe new fire? Where do you need to be closer with God, that you have a new hope again, that you can spread to other people? And to find this out, you need the time with God. You have to be close to God, to his heartbeat. That is so important for me. That's why I started with this. But of course, I want to say also now 3 current challenges about what the churches are facing right now and why there is still hope. But before I will do it now, I want to give 1 minute time to think about your heart right now. Think about your heart right now, and what would you answer to God if he would say, I am willing to give you whatever you want right now? What is your desire? I give you 1 minute for that. Jesus, you are looking for our hearts, and you also give us a question, what do we want from you? And thank you that you asked this question today also for us, and I pray also for the leaders here, also in Denmark. I pray for the different situations that they are dealing with. I pray that you protect their heart, that you bring their heart closer to you. I pray that you remove all the wrong expectations, that you break the barriers that people put on them, and that is not theirs. I pray that you bring a new refreshment, and that you remove all the things that are not belongs to them, and that they come closer again to their calling and can live their calling. That again the fire that you wanted to put in their heart, that you put it already in their heart, but maybe it's only it's glim only right now. So Father, I pray that you bring it up to a new fire, to a new light. In the name of Jesus, amen. But now I want to go on the next things here about to a few minutes about to say what is the current challengings what we as a church has, and there are three main things what I recognize right now, what I see through Europe, and but there's still hope, I would say. Sometimes we get scared by this and say, wow, there's only bad things, only challenges, but I see the challenges has also chances. And I want to say about what are the chances in there. One of this is so in the society, we see a secularization and the individualized spirituality. So what it means, we see the number of people leaving the church in Europe is falling again. So it's not more so high like we had before Corona. So after the coronavirus pandemic, so the numbers that people are leaving the churches are very low. And this shows sometimes that crisis, and maybe also it is connected with the coronavirus, it's also connected with, I think, with the war, with the whole economic situation, but it shows that people have still a deep desire for something spiritual. They are looking for something that gives them hope, that are looking something where they can put their trust on, because they are seeing so many things are falling down, you cannot build on it, and it is why we still have this hunger for it. And still, of course, we have people who never have heard about God and Jesus. This is also somehow something what we see in Europe, that we have a generation who grew up now, who have never attended a church because their parents never took them with them to a children ministry or something else. So we have a new generation who is growing up, in Europe, who have never heard anything about the Bible. If you would tell them, say, hey, let us tell us a story about Noah, with the ark, so they would say, Noah, I don't know him. Does he live in the neighborhood or where he comes from? So they would never have an idea more about the stories. And this is also, I think, in one way, challenging, but in one way it's also for us, hey, how we explain the stories new. We cannot more expect also in our Sunday services that everyone who come to our Sunday service know about the stories when we mention something, when we mention Abraham, when we mention Jacob, and when we mention something Paul, and so we cannot more expect that the people know what these people are or what they are standing for. And that is what we see there. And the other thing is also what I say, the various or individualized spirituality. So people are not more looking, saying, oh, I only believe in this only one God. They are looking in different way and looking for something spiritual things, So that is why the esoteric in Europe is booming, has a big boom right now, People are looking for occultism, they are looking for angels, they are looking for colors, they are looking for trees that they can hug and the trees will hug them, I don't know. So like this, people have this desire for something that gives them a very special things. And the thing is also that they have no problem to talk about this. People have not a problem anymore to talk about very crazy spiritual things. My wife, she is somehow an artist, and she's also going to the artist fairs, and when I visit her also in there, it is unbelievable. Most of the artists were there doing all the kind of stuff there, more esoteric people. They are selling different kind. If you use this color with this smell, you will feel like this and this. And people believe it. And people buy and pay much money for this kind of crazy things. And that is what I see also, that it's so easy then to speak with people about this, all this kind of spirituality. In one way it means, yes, people are open for this, but it not means that everyone is now looking for Jesus. They not want to hear anymore about the church message, They think they know the church message. They only speak about one God. And the church is only radical. The church is only very close. It's very conservative, So that is why they're looking for new ways, but with the same desire. to have a fulfilled life, to have something that gives them hope and something else, And that is what I see and what I can observe now in Europe, and we see it more and more in different countries, that the people are more and more open to talk also about this kind, about faith, I would say, or about spirituality, And maybe 10 years ago it was difficult to ask people like this, what do you believe? How do you go with your spirituality? And now, if you can speak with people, very easy about this, because it also can sometimes help if you see people, they have a tattoo, So tattoo is also showing a lot of spiritual things, a desire for something. So it's easy sometimes to speak to people and to ask them, hey, what does it mean for you? And immediately they will speak about faith with you. And also, I was last year I was in the film festival, because my youngest son, he is also there in this film festivals and doing some movies there. And it's interesting that it was a film festival for young people, and then they showed a lot of short movies that the young people have done there for this festival. And what I found out, most of these movies were very looking for the hope for the future. We're looking something spiritual. It was not only as, 2 years ago I was also there. There was the question a lot about climate 2 years ago. But last year, really, it was really focusing on what gives me hope, about something transcendental, This, where is God? What gives us hold? Is it only God, or is it some other power? Where we get the power, where we get the strength for? And this is something interesting what I found out. And this gives me hope, because people are looking for hope, And we have the answer for this hope. And that's why I say also we need new accesses to the faith. We need now to explain more the people what faith really mean, what the old stories really mean to them. And this challenged us, I think, as the churches now, not to use anymore our holy language, but we need to describe more. We don't need to expect anymore that people everything know. We have to explain more and to give it a new way, a new access people to understand the message of Jesus. And for this we need really more and more wisdom. I think also that people get the new access to Jesus. And also what I see, for example, in Vienna, I talked a few weeks ago with one guy who is doing his student work, and he said also, around 5 years ago, I think 5 years or 10 years, I don't know, even more. So he said it was people only wanted to have an experience with Jesus. They only want to say, hey, give me something that I can feel, prove me something that I can feel, and then I will to believe to you. But he said now it changed. They have now a group that was called the apologetic, this to defend the faith, how to defend the faith. And the young people are coming to this group. They want to understand more logical again what is about the faith. They want to find real arguments about the faith. And I thought this time is gone. But it means now it will come maybe again. That people are looking really for the truth. And especially for the young generation, I see they are really open and they are looking for something. A few weeks ago also I had a tiler, with the tiles, he put it in my house there. And this guy was, when he came in, he was very pessimistic, He was everything criticism, He say, the politicals are very corrupt, the economic is very bad. And this, and I thought, boy, he sucked me all my energy, You know this kind of people, when they come to you, then you feel, so, and this was also, and he came here, I say, no God, he is in my house, I have hope. So, and I shared him, I said, no, it's not like this. And we discussed a lot of things, and then he asked me, why do you have so much hope? And I said to him, because I have the best job in the world. I'm working for the biggest company in the world, and this is why we have so big influence. That's why I have, what kind of company is that? And they said, it's God's kingdom. And when we come and discussed about this, And more we had a good conversation, and he really get hope. And then next time he came, 2 days later he came, and he brought his wife with him. And he said, sorry, but I have to bring my wife with me to show what it means that we have people with hope, you know. And then really, they were there working together. And also, usually I had to work also something, but they wanted to discuss about hope. They were looking for something. They say, we have heard before about believers, about Christians, and we have met Christians, but we have never met Christians really like you that really have hope. You know, and I said, hey, I have done nothing, you know, it was only my inner conviction. I only said, no, I not want to allow the bad voices to be spelled out here in my house, you know. I want to give hope to the people. I say, no, God is on work, you know. And I said to them also then, I would like to pray for you. And they were really willing. And I was so, you know, first I asked them, you know, is it okay for you if I would pray for you? And the wife already, yes, of course. And stand like this. I was a little bit shocked. I was not prepared immediately to pray. Yeah, but then I did it. Yeah, you know. But it shows me people are hungry for people with hope. But you can only ignite others, ignite the fire if you burn by yourself. We have fire in you. And this shows me there is a lot of hope, and we need new words to describe. What does it mean to have a relationship with Jesus? You know, don't need to protect or to find good arguments for the church. We need good words for Jesus. People are not looking for a church, not looking for an organization. They are looking for a relationship, for a person that they can touch, that is full of hope. And that is why we have to bring them Jesus closer and not the church. You know, and I don't like the discussion when people come to say, yeah, but the church is doing this and this. I say, I don't care about the church. I speak about Jesus. Jesus is the Lord of the church. You know, I not want to speak about the church and to defend the church and to say, oh, sorry, yes, I know the church, sometimes we are singing old songs. Yeah, I know, we're doing like this and we are against this and this and this. No, we are not. We are people full of hope. And that is, I want to show you Jesus, the man who is full of hope. And then the other thing is also what we see, the structural declining is there in the relevance of traditional forms, church forms. You know what, I go a little bit fast now here, I see the time, John is looking at me. And I'm also here, because of hunger, yeah? No. Well, let me finish this and then we do a break, yeah? So, okay. So when we talk about spiritual ways, we find also that people are not more like so much the traditional forms of churches also. Also in the younger generation, you know, we see young people are now have a new hunger for God, and when I see all the reports for the new young festivals, youth festivals, you know, we see that the next generation, Gen X, you know, Gen Z, you know, who are growing up, you know, they are really committed to Jesus. If they made the decision for Jesus, they're really committed to Jesus. But the interesting is, they're not like the old forms. They will not be, if you expect that hey, you are committed to Jesus, but why you're not coming every Sunday to the church, it will not work. In this case, some things what maybe they have to learn, but maybe we have to learn to rethink, you know. So one pastor also, he said to me, you know, Rudi, it is so difficult in the church with the young people, you know, it's so difficult to have a sermon series, to preach a sermon series. Because he said, I have never the same people next Sunday. They never know what I'm connecting to. You know, he said, I'm happy if I see the people every 6 weeks or every 8 weeks when they come to the Sunday service. So I have always a new constellation of a church in front of me. And that is the new reality, I think, really. I see it in other churches also. People are not more like this, that they would say, oh, I'm coming every Sunday at 10 o'clock or 10:30, so it doesn't matter, you know, I'm coming to the church. Because they have different way to express their faith and different way how they want to see how church should be. So we see also in the different kind of style how they do churches. I was once in the church, when they had not any more benches or chairs. No, they had sofas, couches. You can sit on couches. And maybe it will surprise you, but it was a Catholic church. It was a Catholic church in Austria who have this kind of couches. You can sit there, you have a small table there, you can put your drinks there, and you can enjoy the service. This is a different form in a traditional old building, but it attracts a lot of people there. And this is why we are challenged, I think, to think about the new forms, how we can bring people together, how we can have places of meeting and making where we can teach people discipleship, if it's not anymore the traditional forms will still working. Also, one thing what we see also is that the larger events are not more large. It become closer events. Also, when I see it at my children, they say, no, we not want to go to a big church. We want to go to a smaller church where we are seen, where we know the people each other. We not want to be a church with a lot of people, For example, I grew up in a church with 800 people that we have every Sunday there. So that was normal for me. It was for me somehow, wow, yes, I want to have this, But they would never go to this church. And that is something, the tendency is more for smaller size, to be more where I can share my life, to have more transparency. So that is what we see there. And also the clothing style, what kind of things you're wearing in the Sunday service, as a child, I had always a Sunday trousers, a Sunday shirt, I don't know, Sunday shoes also, I don't know, you have it also, I don't know, but today, not. Now, and if I now wearing some suit or so, now for the Sunday service and going to some services, sometimes the people ask me, is something special today? So this shows also, how our style of clothing during the Sunday service also has something to do with the structure. And the last thing only is also the church self-image. It's more pessimism and resignation. I see it especially in Europe, In Europe we have somehow a spirit of criticism in our church. A spirit who's not encouraging each other. It's more saying, oh, you're doing bad, you are guilt for this, and we are trying to blame each other, and we have sometimes not hope for each other, instead of seeing, hey, there is still hope. God is the reason for the hope, not our program. Yeah, and as I said, this is the same God. We are still is the Lord of the church, and He will take care of the church. And I think we have to renew our own self-image, to think about how we see our church. When I married, then I stand in front of the church also there, and my wife came in. She was a bride. I have her seen before and met her before, it was not a surprise for me to meet her. So I have seen her, And when she entered the room, I saw her as the first time as a bride. And I was full of joy. I saw all the beauty. I was not saying, wow, why this? No, why this? Why is the gray hair there? So, no, I saw all this. I saw the beauty in her. And my heart was full of joy, full of hope. And I was looking forward to hug her, to stay close to her, to kiss her and to have the whole future with her. And this is the image that Jesus has about the church. He's staying there every Sunday saying, wow, that's my bride. Look how beautiful she is. It's my bride. And then the pastors come and say, oh, this lady again. Who is this? Yeah. Why this old lady? Or why is this tired. So, and I think we need to get, again, close to God's heart, to renew our thinking, renew our heart, to get the perspective about the church that Jesus has. So only that was now a little bit shortcut, but to do it in this way. Now we make a break. John, until 11:45 or so.